All right, what's that? We are going to do number 3 on our 5.5a, which is this little thing here. All right, our goal is to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 particular type of holes, not extrusions, but holes. We are going to extrude the plate, but we're going to do some particular holes that you might find in a hardware store, Home Depot, that kind of thing. Looks at the end. What's going on with my thing? Hopefully you can still see me. I don't know what that was all about. All right, you see these different type of holes. All right, we got one with a recessed hole. We call that a counter bore. Countersink has a curved hole. That's just a general hole. That's a tapped hole because it has threads. I don't know if you can see that pretty close, but if you look really close, that has threads in it. And we're going to end up doing that. Okay, so let's get started here. Let me make this a little bit bigger. First thing I want you to look at is how big, we're going to make a circle. How big is this circle? You really need to investigate and start to be able to see what the engineer is trying to tell you to do. And so if I look at this arrow, it's pointing to the outside circle, 4 inches in diameter. That's the diameter. So we're going to make a circle that is 4 inches. So this is 5.5a number 3. Okay. And we're going to create we are going to do a sketch on the front plane, view it, do a circle, center. All right. You can type in 4 right away. All right. And that will give it 4 inches. Or if you forgot to dimension it, so let's pretend you didn't dimension it. All right. And you had a circle in there. You can hit D, hit the outside of the circle and pull away, and then just type in 4. All right. So that is 4 inches in diameter. And we are going to look at how thick. We're going to extrude it out, but how big? If you look at this right here, this tells us how thick it's going to be, 1.5 inches. So we are going to extrude this shape. We're going to finish it. I like to tilt it a little bit so that when I extrude, I can see it extrude. That. All right, it's already at 1. I'm going to type in 1.5. There's our plate, 1.5, and we've got a nice little plate that we're going to cut into. Okay. So let's look at the other. I want you to look at this circle. We're going to put another circle right on top of this circle. It is a dotted circle. That means it's a construction circle. So just like we did a construction line, you can do a construction of any other shape. This one happens to be a circle. And if I see where it's pointing, it is 2.5 inches in diameter. So we're going to make a sketch on that other circle. Okay. Why is it not doing it? Maybe it is. And we're going to pop it right there. Put another circle right in the center. Okay. Left click it in, type in 2.5. There's my circle. Now watch this. Hit escape, upper left, left click on the inner circle, and then come up here, right in the middle. You're going to see something that says construction, and left click it. And look what happens. It turns into a dotted construction circle. So now I have my extruded circle with a construction circle on it. All right, now let's look at our document. You see all these crazy things with degrees and such. That's great and all, but that's what it's going to end up being. But we're going to make this really simple. We're going to use the whole command for all these, and the whole command, listen to me, loves points. Whole command loves points. All right. So if I go to here, I am going to put a point in right next to spline up here. There's something called point. And you're left click, and I'm going to put this point, literally follow this middle line. See how I put this right on the origin? I'm I'm going to put this right there. Okay, and if you look close, it's a little white dot. All right, so I put a point in there. All right, I'm going to hit escape, and I'm going to come up here to this little block here. It's about 3/4 of the way on your toolbar, and it says linear pattern, but I'm going to pick circular pattern. So when I do circular pattern, it highlights it. I'm going to just left click on that point, and look what it does. It actually puts 3 in there. I want you to left click on and then left click again until, or left click a number of times until the number comes up, and I want you to type in 5 and then enter. All right, and then I want you to finish the sketch. So what you should see is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Okay, on that. And what we're going to do is just go around. I'm going to explain to you what these mean. I'm not expecting you to know what these mean. The first hole we're going to do is just, it's a diameter of 0.25, and that's it, and it goes all the way through. Nothing fancy. All right, you could even extrude that through, but we're going to use hole. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to hit hole command, which is all the way over here to the right, almost halfway on your toolbar. I got a little allergy, sorry. And I want you to left click on the hole command. All right, for this one, we want simple. Start from part is okay. We want it to go all the way through. Come down here to the diameter, and we want that to be, I believe, 0.25. Let's make sure. Yep. And then I want you to select this point. All right. And then I want you to hit OK. Look what just happened. You put a nice little 0.25 hole all the way through. Something that you may also have noticed is all our sketch disappeared. Not a problem. And it threw our little hole command up here. Notice it put the icon. It said 0.23 through, so that's cool. So it gives us information, but we need to go back to sketch 2 and turn the eyeball back on. And now I can see all the dots. All right. They'll stay up there for the rest of our exercise here. So let's do another hole. Okay. Your hole is going to come up. Let's see what this wants us to have. It wants us to have this little weird symbol. This is called a counter bore. Okay. And we're going to play around to make sure that we do this right. But that's going to be the outside circle, which is 0.75. So if I go here and I'm going to pick, instead of simple, counter bore, okay, it's going to give us some choices of what we need to do to make this shape. And I'm going to left click on that second dot. And notice how it's going to put a circle in that looks a bigger circle than a smaller circle down here. The wider circle is what this is referring to, the middle one. And I believe that is 0.75. And then hit enter. And see what happens. See how it makes it bigger over there? That is that diameter, okay? And then it goes the other smaller one is 0.375. So I'm going to come up over here and type in, you can highlight it, 0.375, enter. Okay, and that's going to change the size of that hole. And then this is how far it goes down, which is 0.25. And I think that's what it wanted. Yep, that's the depth right here, that little arrow. Guess what? That is done. Hit OK. So now over here, it shows you that we got another hole and, gave you all the little information about it. Okay, so the next one, that's 2 holes. Oops, I hit the wrong thing. Let's look at, I don't want that. Quit that. Let's look at the third hole. That is this little V looking thing. That is called a countersink. All right, it means it's just going to be a curved hole that goes down in. Okay, and the diameter of that is going to be 0.75 at 82 degrees, and then the other hole that goes down in the middle is 0.375. All right, So again, that's going to be 0.75 as well. So we're going to hit hole command. All right, let it come up. And instead of counter bore, we're going to pick, come on, countersink. Okay. And then I'm going to left click on the hole, see what happens. It does have a curve, but the outside diameter is going to also be 0.75. So that's the middle number. And I believe the, or not the middle number, but the outside number, I mean, it's the middle number here, but it does the outside curve. And then it still is, yeah, 0.3. Okay, good. And it's 0.375 right here, which is great. And it's 82 degrees, I believe. Is that what it wants? Yep, 82 degrees. If this does not say 82 degrees right here, then change that to 82 degrees. But that should have it all good to go. Hit OK. That's the third hole. Okay. And then 2 more left. This funky one right here. We have an industry standard. UNC is the governing body that covers all the different types of threaded holes. All right. So if you go to Home Depot or Ace Hardware or something like that, you're going to see all those thread screws and bolts and nuts and all that are going to have this guide, this organization that guides what they look like. Okay. And that's pretty much it. It's going to make a threaded hole. So let's go over to Onshape, pick hole, okay? And I will tell you what that is called. We're going to go back to simple hole, but we are also going to go down here to custom, all right? And we are going to pick ANSI, okay? And then the hole type, instead of clearance, is going to be a tapped hole. That means it's going to have threads on it. And look at all the choices that I have. 1/4 inch, 20 TPI, which I believe is exactly what it says here. 1/4 inch, 20. Yep, that looks good. One of the other designation is 1B with a depth of 75. So if I go back to Onshape, if your thread class says 2B down here, just pick 1B. Now the thing about Onshape is it's really not going to do a lot of the stuff that we really want it to do. Like the old software will definitely show you a thread. The depth here is 0.75, but this is not going to do it. We're going to do something fancy to show the threads. We don't want it to go all the way through. We want it to actually be 0.75, I think. Is that what it said? Yeah. So look over here. Simple. Simple part. We're going to actually hit blind on that. All right. Hit blind. And then you want ANSI tapped 1/4 20 TPI. Thread class is 1B. Point. You could actually select that and make that. Let's make that 0.25. And then, oh boy, sorry. Never mind. Let's undo that. It didn't like that. Undo that. Yeah. Keep it 0.201. That's fine. 0.75 down. And other than that, folks, I think that's good. And let's select the hole. There we go. And so when you hit OK, all right, you're going to notice there ain't nothing special about that, except that it doesn't go all the way through because it goes down a certain distance. To make it look like it's threaded, we're going to do something fancy. Go up here where that plane is, click this little button up here, and you're going to see something that says Helix. All right, so pick Helix, okay? And then we're going to left click inside there, and you're going to notice that it does turns. That's fine. Height. Target revolution is 4. Why don't you just pick something like 15? And actually, let's do 12. Do 12. And if you look really close, there is the threads. All right. And then hit OK. And guess what? Now it looks like we've got some threads in there. And we're almost done with this bad boy. So let's go over to our little deal here. And then our last hole is, it says it in here, it's just called a clearance hole. That means it's just a hole that maybe if we put a rod in there, it needs to spin around, that we're going to actually put it in. And I think if you look all the way down at the end, it tells us that it is a clearance hole that basically just goes all the way in, and it's like 0.5. Okay. And we're just going to go ahead and do that, make a clearance hole, which is basically just a 0.5 hole. So we're going to come down to here, hit hole, and wait. Simple. That's good. Okay, we want simple on there. So make sure that's selected. ANSI's fine. Come down to tapped hole and hit clearance instead of that. All right, and then it's going to give us what is our width, make it 0.5. All right, and then if you say blind, hit through all instead of blind. And that's it. That's all we're going to do. And we're going to then left click on that and see what happens. There is a hole, nice and smooth. It is a, actually, let's pick where it's, yeah, that's fine. That's good. That's all we really want. Through all, simple hole, and then hit OK. All right. And that is it, folks. We are going to, there's your plate. All right. I want you to turn off the sketch here. I want you to turn off, excuse me, all these eyeballs up here to the left. Okay. And kind of do a nice, let me scroll in, see if I can actually see this. So take your screenshot, look, see how I can move it a little bit, and the light actually shows me the threads. That looks really good. Let me see if I can move it over a little bit too. Yeah, that actually might be better. So what happens is I can see that it goes all the way through there, it goes all the way through there. I can see the thread goes all the way through there. And that one, I don't, yeah, you can't see it, but that's fine. And then make it a color. So come down here to part, right click, edit appearance, make it a color, call it a day. All right, that's it. That is number 3. So let me go back to Teams and let's get out of this bad boy. Stop. And we're stopping it.